welcome back. This is Cetriya, Cetriya, and today is day 7 of 100 days of making comics. So about a full week's worth of getting myself sitting down, butt to chair, and working on making some comic pages. So there's not much of a big topic for me today, mostly because I'm actually genuinely sleepy. I didn't get enough sleep, and I just figured let me just go ahead and get working on this comic and just record something short and sweet. Like I said, I've been loving these comments that I've been getting, so I appreciate that. So I guess something that occurred to me, probably me spending and wasting too much time on YouTube and commenting on people's videos and stuff like that. And something that occurred to me really is that besides us who probably are part of the 100 days of making comics, and maybe to a lesser extent the Inktober challenge that happens in October by Jake Parker, there aren't that many of us making comics. And from time to time I ask myself why. I know there's webtoons, but it's almost like a lot of those who are making comics aren't making social media content. And I'm guessing because it does take time to edit videos and post up. And I'm also kind of wondering, a little bit of conspiracy theory here, but just kind of wondering if I really think about it, if my one and only goal for this channel was to gain a lot of subscriptions and some viewers, and again I've gotten a couple of comments of people saying that I should have more subs, if doing non-comic stuff, i.e. illustration, would get me to get more subs. And quite frankly, it does take a lot of work to make comics. So I have a certain method and style for making my comics where I draw far faster and quicker, but it doesn't have all the details that I would like to have that I would normally do for an illustration. So I'm wondering if that's that too. Comics take a very, very long time to complete, and you just don't get as much satisfaction. One time, I want to say years ago, I'm dating myself, but years ago, I was on a panel for Anime Boston, and I was just like a add-on person to a Genshiken panel. And if you don't know what Genshiken is, it's like an older series that deals with older geeks / otakus, and some of the characters in there, well, all the characters do some kind of production to show their love for a series. And if you think about it, they didn't add like someone who made comics until the very end. Pretty much they do what is, if you look at the anime sphere on YouTube, for example, what is generally popular. And one of the things that's popular is making parodies / commenting videos on a series. I think anime music videos has gone down quite a bit because it does take a long time to make those. And now with all of the YouTube copyright strikes, now people are less and less likely to do so. But they also had cosplayers, and almost every single video that you look up about conventions, or every single book about conventions, it's almost always focused on the celebrities or the cosplayers. It rarely ever talk about the actual illustrators and comic artists behind the scenes, behind the actual series that they're so in love with. And I would even hear that some older anime fans have talked about how if they go to a convention and the voice actress or actor is there, or the original mangaka is there, or the light novel artist is there, and the room will be filled if they have a panel room to an extent, but they might not have much of a line to come and talk to them or interact to them. Or sometimes people don't even know who is doing any of the creative work behind the scenes. So with that kind of environment, I can understand that, I can make a very beautiful illustration in around 6-8 hours. I can do a very extravagant illustration in about 20 hours. And, it's full color, it's so much detail. It would be a beautiful, eye-catching thumbnail. So when I could do a finished product in just, 20 hours, let's say 20 hours max, And then let's say if I was selling at a convention, you make a beautiful illustration, took you 20 hours. It costs you $2 to make 11 by 17 poster print, $5 for the bigger print. And then you can go ahead and sell it for $20 to $25, right? And it only took you 20 hours to make. Whereas a comic, let's say it's just a 16-page black and white comic with, the cover and whatnot. Each page will take you about 8 hours to do. So 8 times 16. I'm not really good with math, but I would say that's about, let's say 30, 60, 70, about 80 plus, maybe 100 hours for that one comic. And then to get it printed would actually cost you about $3, $3 to $4, maybe $3. Let's say $3 to print it. But guess what? You can't sell that for $20. You could only sell that for anywhere from $5 to maybe $7. And this is just a black and white comic. Do you understand? And then the comic, like, how are you going to display that? It's not really an eye-catching thing. You have to pitch the story. And there's so many moving parts for when you're creating a comic. You're not only just drawing one illustration, but you're designing characters, you're doing the backgrounds, you're like a film director with the angles, and then you have to make sure your speech bubbles make sense, that the characters are talking in character, and that you have a full conclusion story. And you spend over 100 hours on it, and then you can only sell it for $5. So it's just, my thoughts and numerations about why is it that I don't see as many, comic artists or even like webcomic artists on YouTube and, or in general in social media, because it just takes so much work. And if you are working on comics, it's definitely because you love it, or in my case, I can't help it. It's almost like a strange addiction. I actually did try to stop myself from drawing for a couple of years, and it was a weird sensation. I was not healthy. I was not a happy person. But now it's kind of like it's an itch, and I gotta scratch it and I gotta do it. But it's not like I'm running towards paradise when I'm drawing my comic. It's more like I have something inside me, and if I don't take it out and manifest it to the world, it's just going to, just keep on building up and building up and building up and building up until either I explode or I implode, and that's not a happy situation. Anyhow, that was actually a relatively long, off the cuff type of rambling. Hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully this topic was interesting to you. Let me know your thoughts about, comics versus illustration. If you yourselves are artists, and I know most of you are, what is your thoughts on your attempt on making a comic project versus just doodling or doing illustrations and stuff like that. So yeah, and thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. As I go forward, I'm going to not post as frequently, probably 2 or 3 times out of the week, and then after that start posting little individual other topic videos. That way my channel doesn't end up being monotonous. Love you all, and see you in the next video.